So, how have you been? Good, good. Yeah, the weather's been pretty nice. So, you've been having fun with your kids? Yeah, good. Well, it's been such a long time. I'm so glad you came back. I know schedules get busy and things are hard sometimes, but I think eventually we can make the time for the things that we love, right? Yeah. All right. So, that being said, I think we should just get started. Yeah? So, since it's been so long since the last time that we met, we're just going to go over the basics, okay? All right. Yeah. And I know when you have that long of a time period, it's hard to remember everything. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use an example of a song, and we're going to go through each part of a song. So we'll go through each one, each separate part. I'll give an example for each, and then we'll get into writing the song. And hopefully, by the end of our lesson, you can, or we'll have a song, and we'll be able to put both our names on it. It's pretty cool, right? Cool. So I have my guitar with me, and but we won't need it right away. But the song that we're going to use is written by one of the greatest songwriters ever, which is Paul McCartney. And Paul McCartney is, I think he's every songwriter's kind of idol, or at least one of them. He's just so good at what he does. He knows how to make that hook. He knows how to emotionally engage you. It's pretty cool. So the song that I'm going to use today is a song, Let It Be. The other one sounds... Yeah, cool. So I don't know all the lyrics to it, but we're just going to go through the chords. So let's get started. The first part of any song, and the first tools that you need is a pad of paper and a pencil. Very important. So what we're going to do first is I'm just going to go through each separate one. Here we go. So the first section of a song, and this is just a general template, you can mess with it whatever, however you want, and really that's one of the best parts of songwriting, is that you can deconstruct it and replace things and take things out entirely. It's there's a lot of freedom in it, but to start out, we'll start with the basics. So we have 4 main parts of a song, okay? I'll add a few in too. So the first part, number 1, is called the intro. Oh, see, I wrote it wrong. I'm dumb. See, I put intro twice. I'm dumb. So we have intro / interlude. Yeah. So our intro, just like in a movie or in a TV show or whatever, anything you're doing, maybe you're doing a speech or something, intro is just setting it up. So in the case of a song, usually it's just going to set it up musically. So you take little parts of your song and try and like condense them down into just a chord progression. And a lot of times that'll just be your verse chords or your chorus chords, maybe a little bit of instrumental melody. But a lot of times it's simple and it's not too long. It's probably like maybe 2 phrases long. Yeah. So in the case of Let It Be, it's just this. There you go. So that's the intro. So the intro is really, really important because it shows the listener exactly what the song is going to be like, the tone of it, the feel of it. So if we were to start out a song, we have a couple of choices, and so we can start out with a minor chord if we want. So I'll start with this E minor chord. And that could be a 2 chord, or it could be a 6 chord, or a 3 chord, whatever you want. But a standard chord progression is a 2-5-1. So 2-5-1. All right. So what that's going to sound like is this. Something like that. Wait, let me try that again. So 2, 5, 1. You could even do 2, 5, 4, or 6. See, I'm getting it all wrong. Whatever. That right there was actually 3-5-1. What is wrong with me? See? Oh man, see, it's been a long time for me too. Oh well. Here we go. This is gonna sound right. Bear with me, sorry. So this is gonna be a 2-5-1. So it's gonna be a D minor. There we go. G major, C major, and really the G is gonna be a 7 chord. So here we go. And you can replace all those chords. So the 2 can be a 4, so that would sound like this. There we go. Or we could replace the G, which is the 5, we could replace it with a 3, so we go 4, or change the 1 to 6. And then also with the 3, you can change it to a dominant 7 chord, which would make it sound like this. Makes it a 5 of 6. So you get that leading tone going up into the A minor. So if we did that, that would be a little bit more of, we wouldn't necessarily be in C for that one. We would be more in like A minor, especially if we do the leading tone. That I once heard a song that sounds exactly like a Rolling Stone song, but it sounds like. That's a fun song. So that's our interlude or intro. So let's keep that one. Let's go. So keep that E minor, so we can switch back to C pretty easily from there. Okay, cool. So that's our intro / interlude. All right, sweet. So it's very important to remember to write down your chords and to write down your lyrics, because I've had so many times where I just start playing a chord progression and then I add some lyrics and I start singing, and then the next day I try to go back and do it and I have no idea. And then it's lost forever. So you want to write it down, but then you also want to record it. Since we all have smartphones nowadays, you can just use the voice recorder on your phone, and it'll record right there. So it's pretty cool. Okay. So interlude/interlude, we're gonna do F major, A minor, or no, sorry, I'm messing up. F major, E minor, and then A minor times 2. Yeah, there we go. So we do F major for a measure, E minor for a measure, and then A minor for 2 measures. Okay, cool. All right, so the second component is the verse. I'm going to put an arrow here, and then we're going to call that our exposition. All right, so that's a fancy word used in storytelling and in it's the format for a lot of classic period pieces. It's called sonata allegro form. An exposition is really where, and especially in storytelling, it's where you tell the setup. So you set up the audience emotionally for what's going to come. So that's in the story. What we do in music is not only do we set them up emotionally, but we also set them up musically. So most of the ideas in the song are going to be contained within the verse, and the chorus, when we get to it, is what's going to exemplify that. Okay. So, and let it be. It's I don't even know the lyrics. Mother Mary, come to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So that's our verse. So when he sings that, he's setting this up. So he's talking about his anguish and his desire to let things be. So he goes through the story. So that's what we have to do. We have to figure out what our story is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play those 3 chords that we had, that I came up with. And I want you to think really closely. Think about what this song could be about and what the feeling is from it, okay? So I'm going to be thinking as well, and I'm going to be thinking of some melodies too. So we'll see what happens, all right? There we go. Yeah, I kind of like it. What do you think? Oh, we could add that. Yeah. 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 All right. So now we have a basic structure. We have that kind of riff, that that. We can add some flair to it. It depends on the words we choose to. But that's going to be our basic melody for those verses. So what do you think? What was your feeling on that? What did it feel like? Yeah. I like it. Yeah. So, someone who loves someone else but can't be with them. Okay. I like it. I kind of feel it too. It's this kind of this feeling of like reaching out. This kind of there's a joy and a sadness in it. You know. It's like I don't know. Loving someone is never easy, and I think this kind of sums it up. So let's hum it a little bit. So. I've said so many times before that you are what I've been looking for. You turn me away, but I can't see. Don't you know what you do to me? See, and I just forgot it. I'm so dumb. That's good. Do you like it? All right. It's a good thing we're recording this because I'll just go back and look at it later. I'll map it out for you. It'll be great. Good. So that's our main gist of the verse. Let's hold on one second. Let's see if we can get. Let's see if we can write down some lyrics. So we know the meter, we know the beat. Yeah. So let's try some things. So we have the one line that I do remember is, "You're the one I've been looking for." Yeah. So there we go. You're the one I've been looking for. Okay. So that's our main template. You're the one I've been looking for. So we have two chunks. We have, you're the one I've been looking for. Yeah? So let's try this. One I've been looking for. What do you think? Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay. So we've had in store. No. Well, that's okay. Let's try. We can do something silly. Well, maybe not. I was thinking, baby, you know you'll never be bored. No, that's dumb. Oh man. Well, before and for, I mean, they don't necessarily rhyme because it's like the same suffix, but I suppose we could do that. So maybe I've never loved anyone like you before. I've never loved someone like you before. So let's try that. I've never loved someone like you before. So I'm going to highlight it. So we have one chunk is I've never loved someone like you before. You are the one I've been looking for. Okay, so let's try that out. Yeah? Yeah. Let's try this. Okay. Good job on before. Thank you. So it's going to be our intro. I've never loved I've never loved someone like you before. You're the one I've been looking for. Let's try it again. I've never loved someone like you. Never loved someone like you before. You're the one I've been looking for. Yeah. Let's see. What else could come next? He's longing, right? We'll come back to it. So at least we have a general idea, right? So we know kind of what our harmonic language is going to sound like. We know kind of what our melodic language is going to sound like. It's a little bit choppy and in segments. So we have those two chunks and then two big chunks and then a small chunk. So that's basically our form for the verses, okay? So next, we have the next section, which is called the chorus or refrain, okay? So I'm gonna put it down here, chorus. Now, our chorus is the point in the song that it kind of ties all of its ends together, yeah? The chorus in opera, for example, there's two different kinds of singing, okay? There is recitative. That's such a fun word. Recitative. Recitative. I like that word a lot. Recitative. Whatever. So you have recitative and you have aria. Okay? So recitative is where the singer is giving exposition. So like the verse, there's not a lot of melodic movement. It's a lot of repetitive figures, especially rhythmically. It doesn't usually have a really broad range. It's usually in a very close, tight range. And usually there isn't a whole lot of orchestra backing. There's usually some, but it doesn't get very big. And then the other kind is aria. And aria is the point in the opera where, if you think about Tristan and Isolde, it's the big love theme. It's, there's pretty much a love story in every single opera, but it's someone pouring their soul out. It's when it gets the biggest. It's when it gets the loudest. It's when it gets the most complex, but at the same time, the most simple, because the melodic lines need to be simple for it to actually work. Opera's an interesting thing. Recitative. grab something behind you. Okay. So, chorus. We're going to put aria, or emotional catharsis, or a bunch of big words, apotheosis, which basically means to raise up, so lift off your feet. One of my favorite performers, I don't really listen to him anymore, but I used to, it was David Crowder, and he would talk about how music has this amazing ability, especially when you're with a group of people. Music has this ability to lift you off of your feet, like you feel like you're floating. So like when you're at a concert and there are people all around you, and everyone's kind of packed into this small space, but you all know all the songs. And you're all singing at the same time with one voice. That kind of thing is just amazing. To just feel like the entire group is just like slightly off the ground, like you're all just floating a little bit. It's pretty cool. I love that. But usually that happens during the chorus, when we're all singing at the top of our lungs, allowing ourselves to be lost in the group and to become one. That concept is pretty prevalent throughout human history. We almost transcend existence in those moments. Sorry, I'm getting all philosophical on you. But that's the chorus. The chorus is that moment. In a pop song, it's Katy Perry's Fireworks, when she's fireworks, and literally, like, I think if you saw the Super Bowl last year, you saw her halftime show, and when she did that, she was literally like on a firework, like it was crazy. But it's that kind of moment. It's the biggest moment. It's the most important moment of the whole thing, and it's also called the hook. Okay. So we have a couple names. So we have the chorus, the aria, emotional catharsis. So that's the moment where the character finally finds himself, reaches a certain amount of, oh gosh, what's it called? I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. We have apotheosis, which is lifting up off the ground, and we have the hook, okay? So not like Hook from Peter Pan, but the hook is in, it's the thing that gets you to hum on your way out. So after you listen to a song, it's the thing that keeps it in your head the whole day, and you can't get it out, and keep humming it to yourself and whistling. People get annoyed, and they're like, stop it, and you're like, no, I can't get it out of my head. Those kind of moments. So our chorus is gonna wrap it up. So if we're talking about unrequited love, let's see. Well, first off, we gotta figure out our chords for the chorus. So usually when you get in the chorus, you want to open it up. So we started with mostly minor chords for the verse, talking really about his or her, the character's anxiety, and what the thing that's holding them back, the thing that they want to say, or not necessarily what they want to say, but how they feel. Once we get to the chorus, it could even be what they want to say. So if we get into the chorus and we're in the key of we could do something really simple. We could just do, so our verse chords are that could be something like our chorus. It's pretty simple, but I'm trying to think of some words that we could use. What do you think? Here, I'll just play a little bit. I'll play some chords and see if you can think of any words that come to mind. Yeah, that could work. Let's see. Oh, you got one? Nice. Okay. All right. So, all right. Thanks. So I'm here. I've arrived. I'll never leave your side as long as I'm alive. I mean, it's a little emo, but that's fine. And by the way, you don't have to rhyme necessarily. The reason that it helps to rhyme is that it's just for memory's sake. A lot of times, especially in like oral tradition, when songs are passed down, it helps to have them rhyme because you can remember it a little bit easier. They've been doing that since the ancient Greeks. So that's good. Oh, you have more. Don't give up. I'll be there soon. When it gets dark tonight, look up at the moon. It's so cute. It's like American Tail and Philo Goes West. They're both looking at the moon. Okay, so let's try this. Let me see if I can figure out a melody for this. There we go. So maybe you can do, I'm here, I've arrived. I'll never leave your side as long as I'm alive. Sure, that works. So I'll do it again. I'm here, I've arrived. I'll never leave your side as long as I'm alive. I'll never leave your side as long as I'm alive, yeah. I'll never leave your side as long as I'm alive. We could even put a capo or change the key if we wanted to. Don't give up, I'll be there soon. When it gets dark tonight, I'll look up at the moon. And don't give up, I'll be there soon. When it gets dark tonight, I'll look up at the moon. You can even tag it. When it gets dark tonight, I'll look up at the moon. Yeah, that's good. So we have our chorus, which is that. So that's C, G, F, E7, A minor. Yeah, I think that wraps it up. So we have our verse, which is Yeah, so it kind of mirrors the verse a little bit, because we have that E minor, which is basically the same as in E7, just with its major instead. So it basically took that last, took the verse, put it in the last half of that chorus. So see, now I even forgot the verse. See, but this is part of the process. You have to, part of it, and actually a big part of it is revising, because you have to keep writing. You can take the same song and rewrite it, and rewrite it, and rewrite it, keep doing different things with it. Do the same chords with different lyrics, do the same lyrics with different chords, do the same chords and lyrics with a different melody, a different rhythm. So you can do all kinds of things that'll really help you and make it a lot easier for you to kind of make it happen. But for now, I think that's about enough for what we're going to do. Next time, we're going to talk about, next week I should say, we're going to talk about how to do a pre-chorus and how to do a bridge. Yeah? So I think we've talked about that a little bit before, but we're going to go really in depth. But for right now, I'm going to let's see if we can figure out the rest of the verse, the first verse. And then maybe next week you can come back and have an extra verse, and we'll go through it. Yeah? All right, so let's figure out, spend the last couple of minutes. Here, let me grab another pencil behind you. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh, shoot. Oh, it's on my lap. Gosh, I can be really dumb sometimes, can't I? Okay. So a really cool thing is that once you get a pattern, like we have in the verse where we have long, long, short, like that, or 4-syllable, 4-syllable, 2-syllable. And really this can be 3 or 4, depending. Once you do that, once you have that pattern, you can keep duplicating that pattern and keep writing lyrics. So I've never loved someone like you before. I've never loved someone like you before. You're the one I've been looking for. Okay? This part of our lives will be spent apart. But when I'm back, we get a fresh start. It's cheesy, but it works. So, part of our lives will be spent apart. So again, I get really immature with like rhyming, because I just want to put fart. And sometimes when you eat broccoli, you fart. Oh, that's weird, I'm sorry. So I don't want to do part of... How about this stage of life will be spent apart I don't know, what do you think? Because we can do the really easy one. We can do... But when I'm back, we'll get a fresh start. That's kind of right there in front of us. What do you think? What else could we do? Yeah, we could do that. I don't know. Maybe we'll compose our lives as if it's art. I mean, I like that, but it doesn't really make sense. So, Mm-hmm. I don't know. What do you think? It's tough. You know, let's just do it. Let's just do the easy one. I can't think of anything else. I like the other one, but maybe. Yeah, no, we're just gonna. But when I'm back, our love will be fine art. Maybe. Would that work? Ooh. No, it's dumb. When I'm back, our love will be like a tasty tart. No. But when I'm back, I really want to get this. As you can tell. See, I'm like OCD about it. I'm really thinking. When I get back, but no matter what, our love is like fine art. It's still dumb, but it's a little bit more artistic. Although I'm gone, our love is still fine art. See, and this is why you don't get locked into rhyming, because then you get into these like thought patterns. And I'm gonna put my pencil away because we're about done. All right, there we go. All right. want to get rid of this. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. Oh crap. I think I wrote it all down. Yeah. Oh, I need my pencil again. Sorry, I'm gonna write this down. So our chorus chords are C, G, F, then we have C for 2 counts, G for 2 counts, F for F, okay, C, G, F, E, E, A, so F, E, E, A. Okay. All right, that works. Let me put my pencil back. All right. I think we got it. You ready? So this will be our skeleton for next week. Yeah? Okay. So we start out with the F, E minor, A minor. So I've never loved someone like you before. You're the one I've been looking for. The stage of life will be spent apart. Although I'm gone, our love is still fine art. That line just makes you laugh. And I'm here, I've arrived. I'll never leave your side as long as I'm alive. Don't give up, I'll be there soon. When it gets dark, when it gets dark tonight, look up at the moon. Do the chorus again. And I'm here, and I've arrived. I'll never leave your side as long as I'm alive. And don't give up, I'll be there soon. When it gets dark tonight, look up at the moon. When it gets dark tonight, look up at the moon. When it gets dark tonight, look up at the moon. What do you think? Yeah. All right, cool. I'm glad you like it. It actually sounds pretty good. I mean, you can use it if you want, but remember, you got to put my name on it too. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you the sheet, all right? There you go. So for each one, each part, you have what it is, a description of it, and then the words, the lyrics for it, and the chords. Cool, right? Well, I'm really glad you came this week. I'm glad you decided to start back up. I haven't had a lot of students lately, so it's pretty cool that you're able to kind of do it, because I don't know, it's fun to be able to teach. Let me just put this over on the desk for you. of saying. It's just, I don't know. It's nice, you know. It's nice to be able to talk about something that I know and be able to speak to someone who wants to listen. So I hope you gained a lot out of it, and I can't wait for next week when I can hear what you got. So remember, I want you to come up with a verse for next week. You can, and if you want, you can change the melody however you want. I'm going to send this recording to you so you can listen to it and kind of get a feel for the ideas. But if you want to change the song at all, you can. The other thing I want you to do, because I know you can notate a little bit, is I want you to write out the melody for me, okay? So I want you to listen and then transcribe that melody, all right? So come back next week with a melody written out, one more verse, and have practiced it so you can play it for me, okay? All right, well, that's about all the time we have, so I will see you next week. Yeah? Thank you. All right, see you later.